Hi, today I'm going to talk about a couple of things. The first thing I'm going to talk about is I want to add some things to my list of basically shit Gogo Nihon tells you they know, but they don't really know. And what I want to add to that is they don't know how the visa works. Or they know and they just lie to you. I don't know which, actually, and I don't know which is worse, but basically I'm in Tokyo and I'm studying at a school here and I like it, don't get me wrong, but I would like to explore outside of Tokyo. So I was considering to move after being in Japan for 6 months and then going for 6 months to somewhere else and then seeing, how that felt. And since my visa is for 1 year, I contacted Gogo Nihon and asked them, so how would I go about doing this? Like, how would I sort it out? And they said, oh, well, that's going to be super, super difficult. So, it's going to cost you a lot of money. It's just not worth it. So, basically, what you could do is you could stay for a year. And then when you have to extend your visa, you can move. And I was like, okay. And since I was pretty pissy back then, I was like, okay, so what happens if I just go home? And here's the kicker. So, my visa is for 1 year right now. And they said to me, if you go home after 6 months, you lose 6 months of your visa. So if you're ever going to come back, you don't have 18 months left of a student visa. You only have, a year. Because those 6 months that you were supposed to be here, that your visa was set for, but you didn't stay here for, they disappear. Like, they remove them from your realm of possibilities. So you can, get those back ever. So if you, get a visa for a year, and then you go home, you wasted 6 months. And I was like, well, that fucking sucks. So I decided against going home, which, I'm happy about it in retrospect. But basically, that's bullshit. Okay, first of all, it can be a bit of a hassle to change my visa, because basically my visa is a student visa. So it's connected to the school where I'm studying. And my visa is connected to this school for a year. So if I want to switch schools, that new school has to take over the visa, and yeah, it can be a bit of a hassle, and it can basically, I'm getting student loans, and I'm getting student loans shaped after exactly the school fees of this school. So if I switch to another school that's more expensive or less expensive, my funding money might be it might be getting weird, there might be some hassle, there might be some troubles and whatever. So they're not wrong about that, but the way they just shut me down and were like, oh, you just don't do that, that's BS. Because basically my friend did that, and she was like, yeah, it wasn't easy, but a woman in the reception at our school helped her from first step to last step, with all the paperwork and what she had to get and sort out and whatever. And it didn't take her that long to get more money from the funding people and all that stuff. So clearly it's not as impossible as they made it sound. And then the second part about losing 6 months of my visa if I go home is BS. Basically, we have a Swedish guy in my class, so same rules apply to the both of us. And he was supposed to stay for just 3 months, so he didn't get a visa. But then he decided, okay, I want to stay for another 3 months. But he couldn't get a visa for just 3 months, so he got a visa for a year, as I do, but he's only going to stay 3 months. That doesn't mean he loses 9 months. That doesn't mean that at all. It means that they kind of just, oh, well, once you exit, we shut it off. So those 9 months kind of go back to, well, you can use these later if you want to. And the only months he's used are the 3 months he actually lived here. So that was just a flat lie. I don't know if it was lying because they didn't know better, or so it was more like a mistake, I can't be bothered to figure it out, I'm badly informed, I'm just gonna spread that ignorance around. Or if it was well, I know the answer, but if we have to help you through this process, because it can be a bit lengthy and a bit difficult, let's just not do it. So I think that's pretty busy, to be honest. I think it's but at the end of the day, I didn't pay anything for the service, so what can I say? But yeah, that is the first thing I want to talk about. So I'm gonna pause it and re-go in a couple of seconds. But yeah, first thing was just don't choose Gogo Nihon. okay, just like go with blueberry languages, like blueberry språk if you're from Sweden. If you're not from Sweden, I get it, it could be difficult. Maybe go with Nihon, but don't trust what they say, okay? Don't blindly trust what they say, whatever they say. Just kind of take what they've said and then use that information to Google to see if they're right or wrong. That's all I'm saying.